Welcome to Steady Growth, where we build money, character, and resilience the same way. Small, steady, and on purpose. No hype, just honest steps that add up. Let's begin. Walk into almost any company and ask what it stands for, and someone will recite it before you finish the question. It is framed in the lobby. It is printed on the mugs. It got drilled into them on day one. Now go home, sit down at your own dinner table, and ask the same thing. What does our family stand for? And listen to the silence. Maybe a little nervous laughter? Maybe, being nice? Doing your best? Here is the strange thing hiding in that pause. The company selling you software has a crisp, written-down identity. The organization raising your children runs on vibes. Unwritten, unspoken, half-absorbed values that everyone sort of feels and nobody ever actually said out loud. And vibes have a failure mode. They bend. They bend on a tired Tuesday. They bend in the checkout aisle when the meltdown starts. They bend under peer pressure, under whatever this year's trend is pulling on, because a value nobody ever spoke is a value nobody can stand on. So tonight, I want to hand you the smallest, sturdiest tool in all of family life. Not a mission statement. Nobody needs a family PowerPoint. 3 sentences, short enough for a 6-year-old to recite, strong enough to settle an argument, spoken out loud and lived out loud. 3 sentences that quietly run a home. Let me show you how they work and how to find yours at one dinner this week. Picture a decision tree. Every little fork is a question a family faces. Do we let this slide tonight? Do we keep this commitment when something better came up? Is this how we talk to each other when we are mad? A family without named values meets every one of those as a fresh negotiation, held at the worst possible moment by the most tired possible people. Now watch what one named value does. Drop a card at the root of that tree that says, "We are people who keep our word." And suddenly, whole branches collapse. They are pre-decided. Because a named non-negotiable works exactly like paying yourself first does with money, it is a decision you make once, calmly, as your best self, and then it answers 100 future questions automatically before they ever turn into arguments. We keep our word is not a rule about Tuesday's playdate. It is the preloaded answer to every promise, every RSVP, every showing up that has not happened yet. And there's a second engine here, quieter and stronger. Identity. Decades of behavior research keep landing on the same point. People do not reliably do what they are told. They do what people like them do. A child told to stop lying hears a correction. A child raised inside, "We are a family that tells the truth, even when it is hard," is being handed a self. Rules get tested. Identity gets worn. 3 sentences, said often enough, stop being house policy and start being who we are. And who we are is the only rule a kid actually packs and takes with them when they leave. So how do you find yours? 1 dinner, 3 questions, and 1 rule. Messy drafts welcome, perfection banned. Question 1. What do we never want bent? Not on vacation, not when we are tired, not when it costs us. Do not reach for noble abstractions here. Listen for the things that already make your chest tighten when they wobble. Kindness when it is hard. Telling the truth early. Showing up for each other's stuff. Question 2, my favorite. Imagine your kids at 30, finishing this sentence for a friend. In my family, we always... What do you want living in that blank? That question has a way of cutting straight past the parenting trends to the bedrock. Question 3, the diagnostic. Where does your family keep having the same fight? Because a recurring fight is almost always an unnamed value asking to be named. The screen battles might really be, we protect our time together. The chore wars might be, everyone carries part of this home. Then draft. Keep each sentence short. Make it positive where you can, because "we do hard things" lands better than "we do not quit." And make it concrete enough that a kid can catch you breaking it, because they will, gleefully, and that is the system working. Cap it at 3. A family can live 3 sentences. 10 laminated values is just a poster. Say them at dinner, stick the card on the fridge, and live with them for a month before you call them final. Culture is a draft you keep. Now, here's a quiet suggestion this channel was always going to make. Let one of your 3 be about money. Not a budget. A sentence. We pay ourselves first. We do not borrow for wants. We talk about money calmly, out loud. Watch what one sentence like that does across a whole childhood. Every payday transfer the kids over here, every "that is not where our money goes" at the store, every Sunday money minute. They stop being random parental quirks and start being expressions of who this family is. The hundreds of future money forks, the impulse buys, the keeping up purchases, the borrow or wait moments, they all arrive pre-answered at the root. But the deeper payoff is the inheritance. Most of us absorbed our money story by accident, from overheard arguments, from silence, from vibes, and then spent our adult years untangling it. You've heard the grown-up version of this: "I'm just bad with money." That's a verdict from a court that was never shown any values, only weather. A spoken money sentence gives your kids what most of us never got: a money self, named early, modeled daily, theirs to carry. Picture your daughter at 30 saying, "In my family, we pay ourselves first," as casually as she would tell you her hometown. That is not financial literacy. That is financial identity. And identity is the curriculum that teaches itself. Let me be straight with you, though, because a tool this good comes with a warning label. Family values have a famous way of going wrong: the laminated lie, the card on the fridge that nobody actually lives by. 3 traps, all avoidable. First, the sentences bind the adults too, or they bind nobody. The day your kids watch you bend "we keep our word" for convenience and narrate a clever little exception while you do it, the card becomes decoration. Worse, it quietly teaches that stated values are just theater. But the good news lives in the same spot. The most powerful values lesson you will ever give is breaking one, naming it yourself, and repairing out loud. "I was not kind on the phone earlier. That is not who we are. I am going to call back." That one moment is worth 50 recitations. Second, do not weaponize them. A non-negotiable used as a gotcha, "oh, so much for 'we do hard things,' curdles identity into shame. The sentences are a compass the whole family shares, not a stick any one person gets to hold. When a kid falls short, the move is gentler. "That was not our best, and we are a family that tells the truth, so want a do-over?" Identity invites, it does not indict. And third, revisit them. Families grow. A sentence built for toddlers may need retailoring for teenagers. A once-a-year check, the January reset, works beautifully, keeps the card living instead of laminated. Values drift when you leave them alone, the same way budgets do. So tend them the same way, lightly, regularly, together. So here's the whole thing to carry into one dinner this week. Your family already has values. It always did. The only real question is whether they were chosen or just accumulated, spoken or left as vibes that bend on the tired days. So choose them. 3 sentences, found at one table, drafted messy, short enough for the youngest voice in the house: who we are when it's hard, who we are to each other, and maybe, quietly, who we are with money. Say them until they're furniture. Live under them yourselves, repair out loud when you slip, and let them do what named values do: collapse 1,000 future negotiations into one calm "that is not who we are," and hand your children an identity sturdy enough to pack when they go. Companies frame their sentences in lobbies to sell things. Yours go on a fridge to build people. 3 sentences run our home, And the home eventually runs the sentences back to you in your kids' voices at tables you're not even at. That is culture by design. It starts with dinner. If something here was useful today, the best thing you can do is use it tonight in one small way. And if you'd like to keep growing with us, you're welcome in our tribe at familycreative.org. It's where we gather the tools and resources we build for people doing this on purpose, and where you can learn more, share what's working, and help someone a few steps behind you. That's the whole point. Small, steady, together. Be kind, try hard, do the work, build the family. We'll see you in the next one.